Oh,
How
what's
did
up,
the
guys?
protests go, Keaton?
It was good. It was it's very intense. I mean, they had a lot of speakers, and then they had a march. And it was in Troy, New York, which is right across the river from Albany. So it's sort of like the Brooklyn to Albany, right? If Albany's Manhattan, Troy's like the Brooklyn, although Troy is smaller than Albany.
Troy's the Brooklyn of Albany these days, huh?
Yeah, well, it actually is. I mean, parts of Troy are really nice now, especially down by the water where they had this. And so, yeah, there were a lot of speakers. There was a little over an hour worth of speakers, and then a march, and then people were hanging out and talking after the march. And so, yeah, it was great. I was definitely grateful that I got to go to one. I certainly hope to go to more. It was intense, man. There was this guy there. He was a Palestinian guy. I have video of it. I filmed almost all of the speakers, and he said, I have family in Gaza. Big family, 16 or so people. They kept telling me, over the past year, are you going to come see us before we die? And turns out some of them died in these recent air raids. And some of them are in intensive care in a hospital that Israel has announced that they are about to bomb because there are terrorists hiding under it. So it's really gutting. I mean, it's really, to hear that, I mean, people were just stunned at that. Not that they should have expected anything different. I mean, you go to a rally like this, I mean, that's par for the course, unfortunately. But that's just one example of just a super intense moment. But it was very well attended. I mean, it was a cold, nasty, wet night here. Monday, 5 o'clock, not good circumstances for a rally and a march. And they still had, I would guess, 300 to 400 people in a fairly small town. Wow. So, that's very significant. And, like I said, I have video of it. I'm going to cut together something for our show on Wednesday afternoon. But, yeah, I mean, it's important to get out there. I know, CJ, you were out at the L.A. march. Mm-hmm. I know Russell's been to some. And so, yeah, it's important to show your face at these things.
Yeah, and that's what this segment. So I'm happy perfectly that you made it before this segment was over, because this segment is about weekend pro-Palestinian protests. And I'll pass it to, I can't see you, but one of you, I think you want to chime in. Let me just show this video, and I'll show a couple of videos from the LA protest, the one that I went to. And here is the overview of what LA looked like this past massive. I mean, it had to have been at least, if I was just estimating, I mean, if it was under 20,000 people there, I would be very surprised that it was less than 20,000 people.
Yeah, that's a pretty big crowd.
I know in Chicago it's been like a recent one's at 5,000, and this has been the fourth consecutive weekend. There was actually a recent conflict, I believe, somewhere on Michigan Avenue between I've seen them before, the Black Hebrew Israelites and the Palestinian protesters. There was a fight that happened between them, which was as stupid as hell.
With the Black Hebrews?
Yeah, yes. If you've been in Chicago, you should know what I'm talking about. Like, there's always
but don't they consider them as usurpers, the Israelis?
From what I remember seeing, because again, there's a lot of infamous, well-known people who panhandle and stand around corners in downtown area of Chicago. You have the preacher who tells you how you're all going to go to hell, and the Black Hebrew Israelites. I mean, the groups that I've seen would say that they're like the original,
right? Exactly.
Jews or Israel. I don't know too much about the story behind it, but yeah, and there was a conflict that happened, a fight on Saturday, which was dumb. Apparently, just heated opinions, and the CPD just sat there and just honked their horns to break the fight up. That's it.
Let me play another video here, gentlemen. This is probably maybe the one. If I might play one more, because this one kind of encompasses a lot of what it was like on the ground at the LA protests. that's a free Palestine lowrider. When I saw that, I had to get that on camera. And I was walking up and down the line. This was more towards the back of the line. You'll see the depth when I pan over. You'll see the depth of how far ahead the crowd goes to. So let's watch more. You can see it there, and I'll stop it here, but you can see the depth there is just blocks and blocks of people. I wasn't even quite sure. When you're in it, you don't realize I mean, like, it's huge, but you don't realize exactly how big it is until you see some of the footage sometimes after it's over. And that was the case for this LA one. And try to make it out again. And like you said, you want to try to show your face. Is very important, and it's inspiring, and you meet people that's in the same sort of space. So I was the last member that hadn't. They all got a chance to go the first week that we protested, and then Sabby went the following week, and then I finally got a chance to go this past Saturday. So happy that is the case. But